Hey guys, it's Viewmasters Reactions, and we're back with Mighty Nein Time, episode 72, campaign 2, Clay and Dust. We have about 25 minutes left. We did hit 50 likes in the live stream, so we did the first 35 minutes of that episode. I just finished the Patreon exclusive last night. We are with the Dust family. Clay, Caduceus Clay, has ran into Jeremis. I believe it was Jeremis Dust, and we are having a big old discussion about what to do. There is a vision with green glass. We have residuum that amounts to 1,000 gold worth. Not was going to use 300 of it, a third, to recreate the glass that Caduceus had a vision of drinking from, and it didn't work. It can withstand absurd amounts of heat. The residuum didn't even move. Then Caduceus grabbed 150 worth, fell into the lava, and disappeared. Nothing happened. So I don't know if it's going to amount to something later, but we wasted like 150 gold worth of residuum. It was worth it though. I don't blame him for trying it because we really don't know what we're supposed to do. We have like this thing with an onyx pool filled with magma. Jeremis is here. They said no stone family members have ever come through, or at least not in a very, very long time, not in the lifetime of Jeremis. However, Jeremis has seen Caduceus's mother, aunt, and younger Colton, whoever that is. I'm assuming it's like a brother or a cousin. I don't know if he said that for sure. The way it ended was Caduceus was basically saying, you got to rely on faith. If you knew exactly what was going to happen or an outcome was guaranteed, then it wouldn't be faith. You would know it was going to happen. You have to have some form of faith. You have to like wing it sometimes and just take a chance. And he was explaining that to Bo. He's like, that's what faith is. And that's when I stopped it. So we're going to jump in. I feel like we have 25 minutes and then we'll talk more at the end. You guys want to see more of what I do? In the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see the Patreon hour exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2, Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Vox Machina Season 1 and 2. We're almost done with Always Sunny, finishing up Gremlins, and Barry and Ted Lasso just ended. Also, Justified starts in 2 weeks. We're starting the new Justified sequel show. Check it out. Full unedited. In the description is the link for Patreon. If not, Campaign 2. Episode 72, Mighty Nein Time. I just woke up, and my voice isn't totally clear yet.
It's not faith.
It's not faith. If you know, it's not faith.
No particular catalyst that might make this.
There are many catalysts.
Lower melting points of different sort of.
There are many catalysts here. For the sake of me not going here and spewing a bunch of incorrect chemical information for all of our chemists who are watching the show, who would then just destroy me on Twitter. There are a handful that you think of.
You don't want to get
anything in my possession that I could try.
Sure. Also go ahead and make another alchemist proficiency if you want to try and pull out and refine some of this.
Okay.
It takes a little bit for it to cool off. The stone, the residuum dust, is super hot in the crucible, so it's conducting the heat. It's just not changing.
I've rolled a 14.
All right.
A 14.
They were also speaking of Caleb, I think it was, almost put his hands right in the residuum, which would have probably
thicker
melted
tar-based
his
materials. You think of some viscous oils that might have some sort of a transitive property to it. Nothing seems to be adjusting its format.
I'm going to start casting Commune as I sit by the kiln.
Casting Commune.
I knew I should have left.
By the
we need him now here. Quick. Teleport me back to
How funny is that? Would Yeza have made a difference? I'm sure Yeza could have gave some
What should I say to Yeza? Like, okay, what?
Refining glass.
Information.
What catalyst should use? Maybe you can say, should we use?
It's not glass. It's not glass. It's white.
Oh,
it's a green residuum thing. Yeah.
Residuum. How do we turn residuum into glass?
You might not know what
residuum from
Everybody knows what residuum is.
I feel like a chemist
alchemists.
would know. Yeah, I feel like an alchemist would know what residuum is.
To your knowledge? No,
it's
actually it's pretty narrow knowledge, largely in arcane fields and magic practitioners that know of it, and even then it's pretty rare material.
I feel like you'd at least heard of it though, but either way, Matt's making it sound like you wouldn't, or you might not.
Scattered it in front, like right at the base.
I've heard of residuum before. I wouldn't have been able to tell you what it is.
And wait for the.
But I knew it was like some sort of finite dust or something
As
like
the
that.
kind of smoke from the various bits of incense kind of burn up and fill the space with like a heavy lavender smell that mingles with the rest of the smoky interior and kind of sweat-like scent that fills the air. You watch the smoke kind of swirl around Caduceus in an unnatural way before dissipating. In a weird way, kind of a bit of a warmth kind of hits your clavicle and chest momentarily, Ford. As you watch Caduceus's eyes close.
And I wore my
the heat
Ford shirt
rolls away,
because everybody in the live stream said, go with
much
Ford.
like the
Ford is the thumbnail.
early morning
We
light
heard
of a dawning
Ukatoa
sun.
earlier.
You feel the warmth surround you.
Ukatoa
and
said,
the
return.
wrapping and safe presence of the mother that's guided you.
That's right, because Ford did have the mother. He was
I'm supposed to
embraced.
be searching for the refined residuum. For
The wild
this
mother
count.
said, I'm going to embrace you and protect you. Temporarily,
That's
kind
your
of
first
thing.
question?
Yeah. Yes or no?
You sense that the visions that were once given to you come back clearer a second time, and you see these larger shards of condensed, jagged but still smooth and polished in places residuum glass. You gather the answer is clarifying it to be a definitive yes.
All right.
Is Whitestone the most accessible?
In the Patreon hour, we said Whitestone was the most logical place
that
to go
the-
to get it.
closest
They were saying
place to find
Whitestone
such material.
would have this green,
You see
refined
visions
residuum.
of
We need
alabaster
refined.
mountains surrounding a valley filled with a dark forest. You see elements of green glass being gathered into crates. You see them being placed onto the back of carts, then onto ships, sailing off across the sea. And you get the sense the answer
Is it possible
no.
that we could teleport somewhere, grab it, and come back? Like, could we get this done quick if we need to? But Matt's saying no. It's
Will I
not.
find the man who can reforge this sword in the city that he is from? I can't pronounce it because I have multiple.
Uthadurn.
Lord.
The man who can
Loradurn.
forge this sword
City of Loradurn.
in the city where he's from.
Can I find him in that city?
You
Uthadurn.
sense
I don't know if I like that question, the way
warm
it's worded.
breath of the mother across
I
your
feel like
back
Matt
as
will
the
answer
arms
it
kind of encircle
appropriately.
you and embrace.
But I feel like
a
we can
comfortable
answer
mother
that
holding a child from behind,
encryptedly.
and you feel the nod of her cheek against yours, affirming your question as a yes.
Like, that
As
to me
her
is
grip
odd.
Pulls away from
Can
you.
I find the dude
The
in
love
Uthadurn?
that's encircled
Yeah,
you
you
doesn't
can.
entirely leave, but
Will
withdraws.
you? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like
And
that's
once
weird.
more, the scent of smoke and soot fills.
I
your
feel like Matt
senses, and
answered
your
it
eyes
in a
open,
way that
slightly
made
watering,
more sense.
sitting amongst the Underforge, your friends staring at you.
We need to find the refined residuum.
Well, what if we can make it here?
We can't make it here. I don't think it can be made. I think it can only be found.
Do you think we could go to Laura Dern and find it?
Maybe. I don't know. I think that that's going to be
For another day?
part of what we do next.
Yeah,
but I
that's
do
like
know
later. We can't do it right now.
that if you're willing, tomorrow, we can go get your sword reforged.
Is there more you need to do here before we leave?
I need to talk, and I would appreciate spending the night, but I get the distinct impression that I'm going to be back very quickly.
Wait, I have a question though.
Yeah.
Dolgrim, the guy that forged the sword, right?
It
Kemdol?
was Dolgrim.
You said that
Kemdol is the brother.
Dolgrim comes here to work
Of-
sometimes?
But hasn't in a while.
Dolgrim
Jaramesh.
has occasionally
Mesh,
come through.
Jaramesh.
When I was very young.
Is
Last time I
this
saw him.
I can't remember his last name, but he had a
stronger or
badass
better
name.
than something that he
Dolgrim.
would have at Uthadurn?
Probably.
can't remember
This is a place where many great crafts have been made, and you watch as Tyler turns and points towards the walls, and you see those metal, the metal bars and braces
Tyla is
that kind
the
of curl up
sister.
along
I
the
believe they're
walls.
all
At a
brothers and
glance, you can
sisters
see
of
there's a
Duramesh.
bunch of script scrawled across them, dwarvish runes. These all tell tales of all the fine crafts that have been made here.
Dwarven runes.
They keep a ledger.
Do we see anything about the sword?
Yeah, anything. Anyone who
I was gonna
reads-
say, as soon as I heard runes,
I read Dwarvish!
Bo reads Dwarvish. And we have the sword with runes embedded in it. Look at Bo.
Languages are a big part of the Cobalt Soul, and I've picked none that were useful thus far.
Bo
Sorry.
Well, here you go.
comes in handy with
That was a super good
Dwarvish.
I
selection.
read the.
You were that kid who took a Latin.
I
Deep
just
speech
haven't.
was good.
I thought deep speech was
know.
going to be
Can you
relevant.
find it?
It's
Can
not
you
yet.
find it? Can you find the sword?
I look for the star razor.
Heck,
Star.
read them all.
Just read them.
I
whole
read
fucking
them
thing.
all.
I mean, you go
I
through and
read
scan through
them
them, and it's talking about many weapons that have been made for ceremonial reasons for different families from all across Exandria that have made pilgrimages here to have things made by their finest craftsmen and smithies. Some of them speak of things that were recovered from the calamity and before that have been fixed and repaired.
Smithies.
Elements of
I like that.
ceremonial
I don't often hear
armor
blacksmiths called
and
smithies.
religious
I mean, there's
icons that have
different
been
types, I
then, after being crafted in the name and spirit of the various deities that are held here, which are adjacent between Melora and the Allhammer together, Moradin. Raven Queen, talk of Arathis and other entities that are adjacent to those figures as well, having various artifacts made, repaired, or initially constructed here. The Underforge is also spoken of as a lesser sister creation of another object referred to as the Core Anvil that was lost deep beneath the Osmit Sea long ago.
Core?
That sounds very familiar.
No, it
It's
doesn't.
almost
Never
like
heard
a
of it
dream
before.
From another time.
No, it doesn't. Never heard of it
Is
before.
it core anvil?
Core Anvil.
The core and
Oh, shit.
That's where I made the shards.
Yeah.
so this is.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, is that what it
From
is?
another time. That big dude. That big
So much
dude.
throwback today.
They're going back to
is some
Vecna.
intense
I'm gonna
stuff.
not pay
This is
attention.
really good.
I'm having a very hard time. I'm having a very hard time
So they're
separating my
saying
desires
the
from my
core
characters right
anvil
now.
goes back to
Very-
Vecna, which is
Just a lot of
Fox
candy
Vecna,
on the table.
Wait,
obviously.
is that it? Nothing of the star razor or dueth
If
duar?
which
you
also
want to
taps
spend a
into
while tonight, it's a lot of
Stranger
reading to
Things
do, but you
because
do
of
eventually
the
come under
current
the Star
season.
Razor.
Yes.
It
Last
speaks
season, I should
of,
say.
and you see the name
The new season
Dolgrim
starts.
Smeltborn come up a number of
Smeltborn,
times
that's what it was.
over the period
Dolgrim
of a number
Smeltborn.
of centuries.
I like that name.
As essentially kind of the Hattori Hanzo of this
Hattori
realm,
Hanzo.
a fabled weaponsmith who
That's Kill Bill.
had been called
I don't
to
know if
create
it goes beyond that, but that's
implements of
Quentin
war
Tarantino Kill Bill stuff.
by the
Hattori Hanzo.
by
He
the
said
elves
Hattori.
of Malaeismir.
Hattori Hanzo.
If you want to roll a history check.
I wonder if that's how you
I
pronounce
do
it.
want to roll a history
I-
check.
I've seen Kill Bill many times.
Cocked.
And they would
How is
always
that
say
cocked? It is
Hattori.
it's cocked.
It's impressive. Roll
Leaning
again.
on a d4.
Yeah.
Impressive.
It
Roll
is
again.
cocked, but it's leaning. That's why.
Pretty too.
It's close to the same thing. What'd you say? History?
Most
It was
impressive. Roll again.
strange to see it cocked in that way.
Crazy die.
20 total.
20 total. Okay. Malaeismir,
Matt's never seen a
you
cock
do
like
recall
that,
as one of
is
the,
what he just said.
the
He said it,
previous
not me.
powerful elven nations. And at one point, early in this age, the prominent elven society here on Wildmount. However, through some strange, not entirely understood cataclysm, the city fell and the surrounding forest was corrupted, which is now known as the Savalirwood. The
some
elves
history of the
scattered in two
Savalirwood.
directions.
We
Some
talked
of them
about this in
fled
the Patreon
westward
hour.
and then became the elves that
We aren't
eventually
very far
were taken
and
to the
weren't very
Empire
far.
and Baestiel and throughout the rest of Western
Savalirwood.
Wanandir and Wildmount. The others went northward and founded Uthadern.
Laura
Or
Dern's
didn't found
hometown.
Uthadern, sorry. Joined Uthadern, which had previously been founded by the dwarves.
Half went to Uthadorn, half
Yes.
went to the Sapler Woods.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Or fled there and went into the Empire.
And then was the
Sevelier Woods
Empire.
is where it was.
Gotcha. Oh,
Malaeismir.
And looking at the
Okay.
looking here, you can see in the
That's a
center of the Sevelier, where the map you have the ruins of
Interesting
Malaeismir
spelling,
are marked there as well.
Malaeismir. It looks way harder to a spell
Should
that
I
it
send a message
should,
to
in my
Dobra and
mind.
see if he's around?
How do you do that? Do you know what? Do you need to know what he looks like?
The Dern. Yeah,
How do
there's
I-
the. It's
I don't
beautiful.
know. Do you?
Beautiful.
I think if I just know
Beautiful.
his name.
I just had to look closer because the smaller words are important now.
What if there's two?
I'm going to look.
Or we
Cinderest.
can just have a
I'm
good
saying that right.
old-fashioned
We
quest.
talked about all these places in the
Cindershire.
Patreon hour.
New
They
creature
were
with
talking
which
about
you are
all those
familiar.
surrounding
Does
lands.
that, am I familiar
Savlier
with
Wood,
him?
I think they
know
said
his
was
name?
200 miles away from us,
You
but
know
we
the
had
name.
passed along the
That is,
side.
that is a level of familiarity you can certainly try.
I could ask the Dusts what he looks like, what his personality's like.
Yeah, you can go ahead and ask Jeremus, who's the oldest, and the one who seems to interact the
Jeremus.
most. Right, yeah.
I might have
he's,
said Jeremesh. It's
kind of a
Jeremesh.
squat
MESS.
lad, broad shoulders, got kind of a black hair, thin in the front but strong, and heavy, thick mat in the back. Bulbous nose, looks like it's taken a few hits in his youth. Piercing, bright, light blue eyes, almost like a grey.
I feel like
light
that's a
in
big
colour.
tell. Piercing,
Dwarf, elf.
light
Dwarf,
blue
dwarf.
eyes.
And goes in this full kind of description.
Jet black
of,
hair,
kind of the
matted
different
around.
stages in which they had met and the times that he
Piercing.
had visited
Well, I feel
to
like
do
orc.
the forging.
I don't know. Actually,
How
I'm
old
wrong
was he
because that's an
now?
orc, and he's got yellow
Oh,
eyes. But
last
he's
time we saw him was
half
very
orc.
old, and this. I
feel like in my mind I picture
partially.
How old do
orcs
dwarves
commonly
usually?
having blue eyes,
That's
but I
like
could be wrong.
super old for a
Oh.
dwarf.
It's gonna be hard for him to get here. Then.
Super old
Yeah.
for a
It's a day and a
dwarf.
half's journey.
Well, may I
but
ask,
he's like
is it possible that you have a teleportation circle here on the premises?
I was wondering this.
You all look at each other.
I doubt it.
No.
Yeah.
No?
Do you have
That's
teleportation circles?
Well, you can still send him a message.
I mean, it's worth a try.
Maybe
It's
you
worth
can
a
tell
try.
by his voice.
But I didn't
and
think
picks
around
out
these parts we'd have
how
such
like
things.
feeble he is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's a good
I mean, we're
idea.
gonna head to
Message
the
him
city anyway.
and see
I'm
what kind
gonna
of guy
say
we're
if he's
working
able,
with.
then he could just come
What
here.
if he's
but,
like,
you
no
know,
problem,
if
I'll
he's
see you in
like,
a couple hours.
That's a heads up.
Maybe he's
This is
maybe he's
good.
very
I think
Save us some
spry.
time.
I think showing proper respect, though, I think just going to the place and showing our sincerity and our sincere desire.
Like you'll
to
know right
get this
away
done.
if you talk to him.
We're not
We're
just
still
trying
gonna
to.
go. We're
If he's
still
too old to
on
make the
our
journey, he ain't
way.
I
gonna.
actually agree.
He'd
with
probably be
Caduceus.
like,
think
I
you
don't
want to
want to
pop
be
into a stranger's
bothered.
head and say,
I don't
hey,
even get out of
here we
my
are, here we
chair.
come.
Thank you.
You'll know pretty quick, probably.
Is it rude or something?
It, Might be
A little bit, yeah.
He
Really?
could be eating dinner.
I think so.
Do you think that people don't like it when I send them messages?
I think people like it when they can already picture your beautiful face.
Yeah, when they know you, it's
a
of
good
course it's a
gesture.
different thing.
Are you
The
trying to
stranger
tell me
popping into
people
your
don't like
consciousness is
When I just
Jarring.
As if
pop
it makes
into
it-
your mind with a message
Okay.
in the middle of the day, I don't think
Would
it's
it
as
be
bad
alright
as
if
they're
we
making out to
stayed
be.
the night?
I mean, maybe I'm
Oh,
wrong.
yeah, of course.
I feel like
We
it's
have
common
had
practice
my,
in
other
this world
sons,
that people would do things
room
like
for the
that.
night. It's probably
I
not
almost
the
feel
best,
like in this
but
world
it'll work.
you'd
At
have
the
to
very
just be
least,
more
maybe some
accepting of
blankets
things.
and
Or not.
we
Maybe
may
you
not
can
need
beat up
them. It's
people
not
and
very
hurt them.
cold in here.
I'd love to see as much of this place as possible and take a look at anything that might have been written down about my family.
Tyler, show you around. No worries.
You don't have like an armory or weapons or.
or library.
I would think they'd have a crazy
Just looks
armory.
Tyler goes,
I don't know about a
no
library, but they gotta have an
She is the
armory.
library.
One of them had a book a second ago.
Yeah, they had a book.
she still has the book and she kind of tucks it in her robes a bit.
Is she deceiving us?
I think so.
No, not like, there's no book trying to hide it, but just like instinctually kind of pulling it in an
Sure.
offensive, protective manner.
But is there a library?
I wouldn't be surprised if
there's
there's
no
not a great library.
You're just asking about
There's
make
gotta
insight
be an
check.
armory and a weapons depot. They like that's what
Don't lie
dwarves
to us,
do.
we
I
know.
feel like they
library.
Show me your goddamn
make shit
Over out the
and
window.
fight with shit.
The library's in the chair, isn't it?
13?
The
13?
library's in the chair.
Kind of hard to tell. You're not sure if she's telling the truth or not, but she seems definitely protective.
Yeah,
of
she's
the
definitely
book that she's
hiding
holding.
something.
What is that book that you're reading? Is it good?
I didn't read it. I wrote in notes and parts of it. This was the one that.
Oh, a journal.
This is it's more of a chronicle.
So
I
they
guess
might
you'd
not
say.
have a library. It might
Various
just be
things
whatever
we hear
they
from the outside
write down and keep track
when
of.
folks come and bring us books and historical elements, we don't get to go a lot of places, so it's good for me to read them and learn to know about it and keep track of it.
Do
Do
you
you
know?
want me to write down some stuff that you could learn?
Make a persuasion check.
What is Jester's angle?
Oh no, the trade
Oh,
books.
that
Oh,
doesn't
God, are
count.
we going to give her
That's
tough
good. That was
love?
a really good roll.
Are we going to show her to
That's
draw
good.
dicks?
Where's
14.
wait, thank you.
Rolled a 14.
Couldn't find persuasion. Where's persuasion? Oh, 14.
Look at Sam's face.
I mean, you seem nice enough. Sure.
I would be
certainly-
shocked
Sit
if there
down,
isn't
lay
at
it on
least
the
one
floor
dick
and-
drawn in this
They,
book.
they can be a lot, but I definitely vouch.
And a
for
lot
them.
of nonsense. There might
She
be
definitely
some
stands over you.
important
Yes,
things.
I'm writing
throughout.
very interesting things
Oh, that's
about
nice.
the world.
Caduceus is vouching for you, Jester.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah, don't mess around with this person's journal.
Oh no.
We don't want to.
Avid reader, and I don't want to force the issue. I don't want to be presumptuous, but I would love to read your writing. I don't know if you would consider loaning a book. It has been a while.
Loaning not
It's
so
been a
much, but
while.
if you're curious and
The
you
way
want
he's
to
wording
read
it,
some
can I borrow a book? It's
specific
been a while.
tidbits, maybe I can, make them available.
Is it all your writing, or it's multiple?
No. It's generations and generations. I'm just the current lore master.
Oh, maybe the
Bookkeeper.
oldest. Could I read the earlier parts?
Sure.
I feel like that might be the most
Right.
confusing. I would go from the. I don't know.
Have you read everything?
I wouldn't go too far back
that's,
because it might just
or
be
a lot of what's here.
nonsense and
a
confusing.
lot of time here, really.
Read
I
anything
would
about
grab
the crawling
pieces and
king?
kind of work my way back.
All the tales of the calamity and the certain elements of his doings. There, Torug is the name of him. Big nasty fella, worm under the planet.
Torig, worm under the
problem again
planet,
at the moment,
big
so
nasty fella.
That's not good.
No.
Yeah, you
it's
haven't
not.
happen to have any pesky demons, fiendish infestations around the mountain
No.
by chance?
Should we?
No pesky
Should
demon
we?
weapon killing items, do you?
Do you have demons wandering around the mountains?
Fresh out, I'm afraid.
He's like, what?
Sorry
been a
about
rough,
that.
It's been a hard year.
Hey,
Things are-
you all do look a bit haggard.
It's been haggering. I suppose, other than just reading about my family to see if they may have mentioned where they're going after this, or if what their plans were.
I think they were going to the stones.
all three of them.
Well, they said they were eventually making their way there.
Stones.
Did we hear that before?
Stones?
The Stones.
The Stones. Whitestone.
No, the Stones is a
The
family.
Stones is the name, the
Yeah,
family name.
but what if they're in Whitestone?
Is Whitestone south?
I think it
know. I
might
don't
be.
know where Whitestone
I
is.
kind of think
No,
Whitestone is.
It's in
I see
know
what
damn well
Chester's
Tal'dorei.
doing. I think that's just a coincidence.
Tal'dorei.
I mean,
It's
hey,
in Calgary.
it could be something. I think that is way too coincidental. Because we already established we had the clays, the dust, the stone.
Good road.
Whitestone's been around forever, even way back to Vox Machina days.
Yeah.
Like, I know
Nothing else.
Whitestone.
Nothing else that they.
I think that's
mentioned.
just
And
a coincidence of words. But I do also think it is
my
south.
My aunt
and we did say
was one
green
of the sisters
glass.
who it was just to make sure I got them all right.
It is a lot of
Enjoy it.
coincidences, but I think it's
It was
just that.
Constance and Corin, I believe, and
Younger
Colton.
Colton. She said younger Colton.
Constance
Corin, Colton, Caduceus,
Why are you looking at me
Clay,
like that?
all C's.
Clay.
Just noticing the theme as well.
Yeah.
I thought I knew every face you made. This is
And
a new
see,
one. I
Jeremes.
don't actually have any.
They're all different
reference
letters.
for it at all.
We had Tyla,
Could be gas.
Jeremes.
Could be gas.
What was
been
the
a
other
long
one?
journey.
Humdel,
You don't happen to have a
Kremdel.
Springs here by any chance?
I
do
can't
you?
remember, but they all had different letters. They weren't all D's. Why are all the clays C's?
Crystals anywhere, or God forbid, anywhere where I could find some spores or something living in these caves. I would like to get a sense if there's any life in here. Something that likes the heat.
I mean, there's all sorts of strange mold that kind of gathers at certain places. Try not to eat that. I was looking for places
Try
to
not to
bathe.
eat the
Honestly,
mold.
right down at the base of the lake during the day, about maybe 100 feet back from where the magma hits the surface. Water's actually pretty warm.
Any lichen down there or otherwise? Something.
Maybe.
All right.
And there's plenty of game on the outskirts.
And the
Kendall
spirits.
does a lot of hunting for us.
Kendall.
and
Spirits don't
Oh,
bother
that's
you
right. It
while
was
you're
like
bathing?
Kendall Jenner.
I said,
We were
"Put them in
joking.
mind, I won't
Kendall.
pay you."
It seemed like we were reading.
Like chemistry.
Jester was reading.
Task glove. I
And
hold
dull.
up the book.
Like, dull.
You see, Tyler goes, I haven't read that one. What's that one about?
Oh, it's really good. Do you want to borrow it? I mean,
Let her
for as
borrow
long
it.
as we're here, we're going to be here all night, maybe? Okay, good.
Have you read Ghost Dick? Same author.
Ghost Dick.
No, but, if you guys are going to Uthadern, if you can pick me up a copy,
Tusk
maybe if you're coming
Love.
back.
Yeah.
And
It's a
Ghost
crime
Dick.
story.
Yeah, you
Very
love it.
rare.
Ghost
very rare.
Dick. It's a
Hard to
crime
find.
story.
All right. As you guys sit down to begin
Liam straight
making your
face.
notes into our book,
I don't know if
and
we
as you
made
watch
that
over
joke
the
before,
shoulder
but that's
and
pretty
begin
good.
conversation about
Ghost
exchanging
Dick.
information.
I think we're
And
cutting
the rest
it.
of you are shown to your quarters here within the Cinderest
we're
Sanctum,
breaking.
the Burning Lodge. We're gonna go and take a break. Be back here
The Cinderest
in a
Sanctum.
few minutes. Hey, Ghost Dick.
And Ghost Dick.
Before
Private
we leave,
Eye.
we do have our giveaway. We have a, I'm going to mispronounce them always. This delightfully bright orange
Paddock.
Paddock wood.
Paddock.
Asphalt. That's a really cool
I'm
color.
pretty sure we've gone over this a
So
million
this we
times. I'm
got
pretty sure
away
it's
to
Paddock.
from our friends
Paddock.
at Wormwood.
Paddock.
Tonight's
Either way, it's delicious looking.
code word is volcano.
Volcano. It looks
Put the
like
word
a
volcano
volcanic
once.
type of wood. I like it.
Put the word once into the chat. More than that, you'll be disqualified. And for U.S. and Canada only, excluding Quebec, we'll have our winner here shortly. See you guys in a minute.
Shocking. Ghost Dick. All right, everybody, that's it for Mighty Nine Time Campaign 2, Episode 72, Clay and Dust. So, I like where Jester was going. I like when people think outside the box. She was thinking, wait, guys, they're saying that this green glass is primarily found in Whitestone. The only people that haven't been through here are the Stones. Whitestone, the Stones, that's where the glass is. And I believe it is also south. Not that that's relevant, but I guess it might be if it's right. But I don't think it's right. Either way, I think it's a lot of coincidences. But I like when people think. And she's, thinking. She's trying. She's like looking at different angles. Now, do I think it's right? No. But I like the fact that we're actually thinking of different angles here. Because we really don't know for sure what to do. Caduceus is like, all right, I did this commune thing. The glass is in Whitestone, but it is also in other places. I also asked the question, or Caduceus asked the question, can I find this dude in Uthadern? And it said yes. The wild mother brushed her cheek. I'm pretty sure that's what was going on. She brushed her cheek and was like, yes, you can find this person in Uthadern. I was thinking Matt is probably just being on the level and not wasting time about it. But technically that's a weird question to ask. If you wanted to be scheming or just make it more difficult for everybody, if you asked me a question like, yo, could I find this dude in this town? I'd be like, yeah, I guess you could. Are you likely? Probably not. And it was just very short and sweet. Caduceus even said, I just want a yes or no answer, because I think that's all he could really get. You can't really get specifics. I don't think Matt was playing around, though. I think Matt was pretty much like, yeah, you can find this dude here, go there and find this dude. But it could have made it more difficult if he wanted to. He could have been more encrypted and misled us, I guess. But that's not really the name of the game. It's not about deceiving us to waste a shitload of time. Either way, we find out that we're looking for this dude who is very old for an orc. We were going to message him, but then everybody in the group is like, yo, we can't just be messaging strangers all the time. It's rude. They're going to get mad. You are infiltrating their thoughts with messages. They don't know who you are. This isn't the way to go about it. I get what they're saying, and honestly, I guess I'd probably lean more towards their right. But at the same token, I feel like in a world like this, shit like this happens all the time. I guess there are rules, though. You'd have different sorts of rules of conduct. Regardless, they said don't do it. Wait till a decent time. We'll all, regroup, check some things out. Caleb wants to read some books. Talzin Caduceus wants to go around, see some more sights. We have all of the dust people helping us. I did say during the episode, too, how come everyone in the Clay family has a C name? We have Corinne, whatever the other name was, Colton, Clay. I wouldn't have made as big a deal about it if the dust people didn't have letters all over the alphabet. We had Tyla, we had a K, we had a J. They're all over the place. They're all over the map. So I don't know. Maybe the Clay people just wanted to stay simple and have all C names. We're going to, in the morning, I'm assuming, deal with sending this dude a message and figuring out what we're going to do. We are likely looking like we're going to go to Uthadern, Laura Dern's hometown. Looks like we're going to go there. We are in the Cinderella Sanctum. There is also that K place we talk about, Kravarad. I feel like that's right. Something like that. But I think we're going to Uthadern. They were weird about the library, acting like one didn't exist, but they had a book, but the book was a journal of writings. Then we asked about an armory and a weapon stash, and I got to assume they got a crazy amount of that stuff. They're dwarves. Whenever I think of dwarves, I think of armor and weaponry and brute force. So I feel like that would be the angle they'd go. But we're talking about the stone. They said his family went to look for the stone, so I feel like that's going to become a thing at some point. We also didn't get anything quite more out of the Ford thing, except for the fact that the Wild Mother is still blanketing him in warmth and care and sort of looking after him, because we know Ukatoa in the Patreon hour was like, return, and he's there, and he's got his hand out, and I feel like something's going to happen in the live stream, specifically with Ford. And obviously, Caduceus is at the forefront of this storyline. So we'll jump into the live stream on Friday. We'll see what we got. It's the shortest one, I feel like, ever. Under 1 hour. But the last one was 1 hour and 5 minutes, and we managed to get to 50 likes and beyond. So you guys want to see more of what I do? In the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see the Patreon hour exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2, Vox Machina Season 1 and 2, Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Perseventress, Adventure Time. We are almost done with Always Sunny and Gremlins, the animated show, which is phenomenal. Barry and Ted Lasso just sent it, and we're jumping into Justified, the new sequel show that starts in 2 weeks. Check it out. In the description will be the Patreon link, full unedited. If not, comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.